Let's take a look at another way that SOLIDWORKS Electrical helps us to plan our projects and get a jump start on them at the same time. So because it's a purpose-built tool, it actually has a functionality that allows us to plan out our projects on a very high level. And that's what I call the planning diagram or the line diagram. Here we are in an empty line diagram. And the way that we build this up is just by accessing our symbol library and pulling in components that we might want to place. So we can just sort through our different classifications quickly, grab the symbol that we want, and place this on our page. We can do this without knowing what manufacturer parts we actually want to order yet. We can add those later. So I'm also going to add in a motor. That motor is going to tie into that terminal strip. So we'll go to my motors and just place that on our page. You'll notice that an automatic mark is assigned here, M1, because it knows it's a motor type, and TB1 for a terminal strip. Now, we can continue doing this kind of to our heart's desire, and then if we get to a point where like, I know what kind of motor I want, we can actually just double click on any one of these components and search for an actual motor to assign to that symbol from our database. So I'll do that now. As soon as we assign that part to our symbol, all of the metadata on that part updates. So these can get very detailed if we want them to. I'm just going to copy and paste this motor. As kind of a shortcut, you'll notice it updates to M2 and it also has the part attached to it. We've got M3 and M4. And this is great because, again, we're building up our bill of materials very early. So if we take a look at our reports here, we can see that we've got a bunch of motors here that we're ordering. We can also connect these things on a very high level. So with cables, right? We'll just basically draw lines between these components. It's a very simplified representation of things that really helps us to get a good look at what's going on. So there we have it. This can get much more complicated. I'd like to zoom forward a little bit here, if you will. Let's take a look at a line diagram that I filled out a little bit more already. So we can see the part that we added together is there. We also have a few other things. I've added circuit breakers, relays, a PLC, and some buttons for the door and all that good stuff. But the great thing about this is that just like we saw in the first planning method, no work is lost. So as soon as we add a component, it's actually being added to our tree here in the location we specify. And when we jump over to the schematics, we can reuse our work in the same way. So I happen to know that motor 4 goes right here. I've added that along with the part here to my tree. So I just right click and I insert symbol. It pulls the correct symbol, which helps me to just very quickly create my schematic, and it's in sync with the line diagram, and it also helps me to maintain company standards. So from here, we can actually just jump between the different representations of this motor as well. And that also applies when we export to PDF. So we've got a really awesome document that we can present to our customer or we can have on the field that we can navigate quickly and easily.